Austin is known for its dynamic music scene and enormous talent which initially blossomed back in the early 1970s. Combine Austin's newest talent, the musicians who inspired them and put Austin on the musical map. Add Jan Reid, the writer who documented it all in his book The Improbable Rise of Redneck Rock, and top it off with the inspiring nonprofit Sims Foundation. You have one heck of a formula for an awesome night at Stubbs on Red River. For the new edition of the University of Texas Press book, The Improbable Rise of Redneck Rock, a panel discussion about the book and the Austin music scene took place at Stubbs Barbecue. The event benefited the Sims Foundation, an area mental health service for Austin musicians.
The Sims Foundation provides access to low-cost mental health services for Austin musicians. We participate in a number of benefits throughout the year, one of which was this Redneck Rock benefit, book signing, and panel. When we get our name out into the community and work with a number of different organizations and clubs like Stubbs, we are able to get the word out about Sims, and hopefully musicians will hear about us and access our services if they need them.
The night was filled with legendary rockers, both young and old, moderated by yours truly, Kevin Connor from KGSR Radio. The night started out with panel members Ray Benson, Stephen Fromholtz, Jimmy LaFave, Bruce Robison, Kevin Russell, Sean Somm, and Jesse Guitar Taylor, along with the book's author Jan Reid, and Austin City Limits photographer Scott Newton, who discussed the exciting years which led Austin to being the epicenter of redneck rock, or outlaw country, or whatever you want to call it. Countless stories were told to an audience of devoted fans and would-be musicians, describing the early days of the Austin scene and discussing the future of music in Austin, and reliving the fun times these rockers shared with one another and those who have come and gone.
One thing I do remember about Soap Creek was the variety of music. You know, one thing that people got to mention is I would see bands like, I went to see all the bands there. I'd see Plum Nelly, I'd see the Skunks, the Uranium Savages were my favorite band. I mean, you could see anything from Doug Somm to the Skunks to the Uranium Savages, and I thought that was like really a cool thing.
Everybody was different. What Steve Ramos did, what we did, what Paul Ray and the Cobras did, what the 6 or 7 other rock bands, everybody did their own things.
The eager audience then had a chance to chime in with their questions, get information on the Sims Foundation, as well as purchase a copy of the book, which many got autographed from the artists who were in attendance. The night was just starting, and the audience geared up for performances from several of the panel guests, a little schmoozing, and one very special guest who showed up for what would be more than a memorable evening. But first, here's what Jimmy LaFave and photographer Scott Newton had to say about the night's events and the Austin music scene.
Jan was the first one to come around and as a very good writer and define what was happening. Before that, no one outside of Austin knew it was happening. But, you know, he essentially made the clarion call, and people paid attention. He put a name on it, Redneck Rock, but the fact of the matter is that he just broadcast the fact that there was a scene here.
Well, I think the Austin music scene is really important because there's a good diversity of music here, and I like it. It's very rootsy, you know. Like if you go hear a country band or everyone here seems to have a little bit more music history in their background or something. I don't know. It's funny, you know. You'll go to LA, you'll get kind of these poser musicians, or Nashville. But in Austin, everyone seems to know who Hank Williams or you know B.B. King is. I mean, there's just kind of a good core of people that want to hear real music come here, and people around the world appreciate that because the name Austin's magic.
Not only was the night about raising money for the Sims Foundation, it was about music. First to hit the stage was singer-songwriter Stephen Fromholtz, strumming the guitar of yesteryear and captivating the audience with a 3-song set. Texas-born Fromholtz started his recording career back in 1969. He's an accomplished stage actor, and his songs have been covered by artists such as Lyle Lovett, Jerry Jeff Walker, and what's his name? Oh yeah, Willie Nelson.
Well, some folks say they ain't no bears in Arkansas, and some people never seen a bear at all.
Bob Livingston, John Inman, and Richard Bowden were next up, and the crowd started to get jumping to this tight threesome. Livingston is known for fusing Eastern music into his country licks, as he is an avid traveler from east to west.
On a blood-red painted desert, alone equestrian. Sometimes red is black and black is white.
Son of celebrated singer Jimmy Dale Gilmore, Colin Gilmore performed a strong set and proved he is a formidable talent himself through and through.
The you are now, the you were then. You are more than a dream, you are more than a friend. Now you're over my head, way out.
flying high, so high I can't even see. What did you do with the you that I knew?
Singer, songwriter, and humorist for the evening, Kevin Russell of the Gourds charmed the audience while playing a few witty songs.
Claudia gonna eat that hot link. Archie gonna bring the beer. Doug coming over with the kind bud. Jimmy's gonna bring the beer. A cat and Donald coming.
The legendary Jimmy LaFave hit the stage and was joined by some special guests. Jimmy is currently compiling songs for a new, as yet untitled release and orchestrating a tour with a number of other singer-songwriters celebrating the music of Woody Guthrie.
Tell this town all the singers. They got religion, baby. They're deceiving in everything they do. I got a deep south 601 Delta Highway Blue. Come on, roll, Memphis, honey.
Much to many a surprise, a buzz throughout the bar swarmed that renowned songwriter and performer Billy Joe Shaver was in the house. A treat to all, he jumped up on stage and sang a few a cappella songs.
I was just one of her partners, the one who kept begging for more. Now, love doesn't come with a handle you turn. Love can't be turned off or on.
Billy Joe's songs have been covered by Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, the Allman Brothers, Bob Dylan, even Elvis. A living legend, he continues to provide inspiration to local and national musicians alike.
She cared for me. She still comes around to rattle my chains and make sure that I'm never free.
Then Rachel Lane and the chain-smoking Poor Boys lit things up and had the crowd dancing. Rachel is known for her sweet melodies and smart lyrics.
Well, I don't want to be just your friend. Ain't loved a long, long time.
To end a perfect evening, there was a jam with Billy Joe Shaver, guitar legends Jesse Taylor, and Jan Reid.
Thank you.
Earlier in the night, the Sims Foundation received a check from Manjas Rel Rice and then passed out useful information which, in addition to the night's proceeds, are hoping to raise additional money for their cause. It was an incredible evening of entertaining stories and inspiring musical performances, all for a great cause, the Sims Foundation.